Hi friends, Simit here from InformedTrades.com. Today is February 11th, 2014. Time for our daily chart review. For those of you who are new to this session, basically what I do is just review the daily charts in the Forex market, about 20-some currency pairs, and share my analysis, the trades I'm placing, any moves I'm making, and adjustments to existing positions that I'm taking in the market. All part of the learning process. We have a lot of material to help traders learn. You can join us at InformedTrades.com. Join, register as a member, participate in our community, all designed to help traders learn. Okay. Now, as is customary, I like to start with the trades that I have on at the moment. Fortunately, things are looking good. I had a little bit of a down stretch, or a little bit of a losing stretch in January, but so far February is off to a nice start. But well, I have 4 positions on at the moment, and let's start with the worst one, which is Aussie dollar. Okay, so that's the Australian dollar. Very close. It came very. My stop is that red line. So you can see it came very close to touching it. Let's actually look at the 4-hour chart just to see how close it came. Yeah, whew, within pips. So that's not looking too good. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm still leaving the position on. Um, So that one is, looks like it's going to get a stop. It hasn't got hit. We'll see. I did enter at the black line, and the target profit, is still at the green line, although the price action is certainly not good. We don't want to see that big bar. It was supposed to go in the opposite direction. That was the anticipation, but we'll see. Um, okay, so that's Australian dollar. That is relevant when we'll review all the Australian currency pairs, but that's relevant to some entry orders I have on at the moment as well. But let's look at some other trades I have on at the moment. Euro pound being one of them. I am short euro pound. Okay, yeah. So this position is a little in the money. Much better price action here. Because we got, this is a reversal candlestick, and we have a pattern now of lower highs. So that's nice. Enter at this black line, stop at the red line, and target profit is the green line. Let's see what that looks like on a 4-hour chart. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, this pattern of lower highs I really like, and this 4-hour candle here is a nice reversal candlestick at resistance, or at that black line that we identified as resistance. Okay. So that's encouraging, but I'm still, if we go back to the daily chart, um, I'm still not moving my stop to break even. In order to move my stop to break even, we'll see, the market will have to close below this orange line right here. So we might still have some time. Okay, pound dollar, and I'm going to highlight this on Informed Trades as this is one of the best setups I've seen in a while. It's currently in my favor, but this I went long right here. So we have 3 of these like hammer-like candles at support. So we're in an uptrend. Let's start at the beginning. We're in an uptrend, right? The 50 is above the 200. Price is clearly trending up. Now we have a pullback. The pullback ends up being 50% Fibonacci retracement from this swing low to this swing high. You can visually identify it as a horizontal support. And we have 3, I'll call them hammer patterns. It's debatable whether hammers or dojis. They look a little more like hammers to me. The 3 hammer patterns off this support level. I mean, that is like great textbook technical analysis. I think is a great learning example, and it's working in my favor. So basically, I entered in the second one here. I saw, oh, there's 2 of these. I can't ignore this anymore. We have all this confluence. It's at a support level. It's at a 15% Fibonacci retracement level. We're in an uptrend. This is a great swing trading opportunity, suggesting the trend is still upwards, still an opportunity to buy this dip. And so that's what's going on. Very favorable risk reward. You're expecting the support level to be defended, and you can simply target the previous resistance level, previous high we were at. That's the story. Looks like I'll be able to move my stop to break even today. So basically, my stop is currently here. Once it closes above this orange line, then I'll move my stop to break even. It looks like we may get a chance to do that today. Right now we're above that orange line, but let's see tomorrow morning if if this current candle has closed above that level. Okay, so that's pound dollar, and the other pair I have on at the moment is Kiwi dollar, New Zealand dollar. Okay. Now this is I'm long. I am getting close to the resistance level that I target profit here, about 45 pips away. This green line here. Um, so just hold on to it now. My stop is already at break even, um, and that's about it. So to recap, um, the reason I find it important, I mentioned this in my previous videos, the reason I like to look at existing positions first is, one, it tells me, do I need to move my stop or anything, lock in a profit, take any risk off. And that's especially important because I want to, I want to know how much I'm risking, right? I don't want to be risking more than, my basic way of trading is, I'm not risking more than 1% of my account balance, which means if I was ever in a position where all my stops got hit, my account balance should not drop by more than 1%. So that's the basic mentality. Now, as you move your stop, as positions go in your favor, and you can move your stop to break even, that buys you some room, some more risk, right? So, for instance, I have 4 positions on the market now. However, my stop on Kiwi dollar, this trade here, is already at break even. So really, if all my stops get hit, I'll only lose 3/4 of 1% of my account balance. Um, and there's a good chance that I'll move pound dollar, not yet, but tomorrow to break even. And if that occurs, then I'll have 0.5% if my stops get hit. I hope that makes sense. But that tells me how much I have to risk and what I'm looking at. So that's why I like to start with this at the beginning. It also tells me once a position goes in my favor, or if a position goes in my favor, I'm very interested in adding to that position, pyramiding in if there's a pullback. So it also helps in that regards. We haven't had any pyramiding opportunities. I'm really looking forward that I've seen. I'm really looking forward to when those come because I think it's an important part of trading, but you don't always get too many of those. And of course, I'm still working on refining my approach to pyramiding. Okay. So that's sort of the recap. Here is the euro US dollar. Now we'll just go through the Forex pairs as is customary. In our morning videos here. Euro US dollar, yeah, well, this would have been, I thought about entering here, but I entered pound dollar, so I don't feel bad. I don't feel like I missed out because I basically got the same trade, but I like to set up on the pound better. But this works out very well. We've broken outside of, so there was this trend line I was a little concerned about. We've broken above it, no problem. We're now above the 50 simple moving average. The one last thing I think is this purple dotted line. We are now at that, which is a trend line the market broke beneath. And that trend line goes all the way back to July. So now is a test of are we going to close back above it? It looks like it's looking favorable in my opinion. But like I mentioned, I played this via the pound, so I'm not really trading this, and no intention of chasing at this moment. Or I'm not really ever interested in chasing. Euro, Australian dollar. This is something else I had debated for a while, but I already have one Aussie dollar position on, which might be short, and another one of my rules is I don't want to have more than 2 trades. I don't want to risk more than 0.5% on a single currency in the same direction. So I'm already risking 0.25% on my short Aussie dollar trade. If I go long euro Australian dollar, that's the same as being short the Australian dollar. However, I already have a short Aussie Kiwi pair on. So I still think I'm going to pass on the Australian dollar because I have one existing position and entry order to short Aussie Kiwi. I don't think there's much room for much more. My target entry was this black line. However, if the market retraces to here, most likely my short Aussie Kiwi will get filled as well. Okay. I know a lot of this can be a lot of going on, and Forex pairs can be a little confusing. So if you have any questions, of course, join us at Informed Trades, and I'll be happy to answer them as well as other traders that are part of our community. Euro Canada, yeah, this is rallying. It's found the top of this channel as support. It broke out above it. Now it came back, tested, found a support, keep going. That's interesting. Would have been a good pyramiding opportunity. I did not trade this. I missed out on this one. But clearly, buying the dips in the pairs of currencies against the Canadian dollar, Euro Canada, Pound Canada, etc., have been in an incredible uptrend, and there have been retracements, right? So if you're just trading this channel, you could have bought here, you could have bought here, here, keep adding your position here now, and that's a great opportunity. But not when I'm in. I'm not interested in chasing, so we will skip that. I mentioned, though, if it falls to that black line, I could be interested in. That's my kind of opportunity. I like to enter on horizontal lines. Euro pound we looked at. Euro yen. I have an entry order here. Yeah, so the entry order is at this black line. We are 300, or no, not 300, 260 pips away, 270 pips away, so almost 300. Yeah. Uh, or 230 pips, I should say. 230 pips away. I'm sorry. 230 pips away. That's fine. Yen, as I've lost a bunch of money, or all my risk is very controlled. So fortunately, my drawdowns have been limited, but I've had a number of losing trades on the yen. So I'm feeling a little unsure. I mentioned this before. You don't want to focus on your losses, but you are trying to learn from them. And I think with the yen, I think there's such a great opportunity in shorting yen that I may just focus on the weekly chart. So we'll see if we get that pullback to that black line. That would sort of be what I'm looking at. Let's take a quick look at it from a weekly perspective. Yeah. Okay, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight down weeks, and we just had our up week. Now, if we can come back and test this, I think that may have been the bottom. We'll see. At least I thought it was a reasonable speculation. Okay, that's euro yen, euro kiwi. Okay, still in this range. I'm just going to extend this a little further. Still in this range, very choppy market. If it falls to, one of these lines, maybe I'll do something. But right now, so long as we're in the middle, probably not. And really, I would like to see it go to the blue lines, but we'll see. Maybe there's an opportunity at the black lines. If this type of situation happens again, if the candlesticks are favorable. Okay. Euro Kiwi, we can look at the Euro Dollar. Okay, so that does it for the Euro pairs that I look at. Now let's look at the Pound. Pound Aussie. Okay, this is interesting. However, I still want to see a pullback to that black line. That's the real entry that I'm looking for. Yeah, so you could definitely argue some traders may wish to enter here. It definitely looks like there's some type of support going on. However, I really want to see it fall to the black line. I think it's a much more reliable and important support level. So we'll pass on Pound Aussie. Pound Canada. Okay. Yeah, we saw the same thing with Euro Canada, right? It broke out of its channel, came back to test the top of the channel, and now it is heading off. This one, yeah, was a really good setup, and hindsight's always 20/20. I guess I should have entered. It doesn't. Well, here's the thing: it doesn't fit my exact strategy. Maybe at some point my strategy will evolve to include it, but now I understand why I didn't place it, and I don't really regret it. But yeah, it's worth thinking about. Why did this trade work out really well? The candlesticks, I really like that here. I'm a big candlestick fan, and that is a great sign for me there. So that's something to consider, something to think about, especially as I'm looking to continually improve. This type of pattern is something that I'll want to pay attention to in the future. Pound Swiss. Yeah, we're in this price channel, still in the range here. I'm finding it very choppy. Looks like price is consolidating a little bit here, but still, let's see if we can go to some extreme, which means bottom here or top here. Then it may be an interesting opportunity. Preferably the bottom because I see this as a bullish bias, pattern of higher lows and higher highs in place. A move buying at 145 and selling at 151, I think that could be a pretty interesting trade. But at this point, nothing really. Pound yen. Yeah, same as the euro yen. It's starting to rally this week, so that's interesting. I want to see it. Well, I like the setup on the euro yen much better, technically. So I won't be doing anything with pound yen, but it is interesting to watch. They're probably sharing some correlation there. Okay, so nothing yet. Maybe if it pulls back, I've drawn the major support levels, and that's largely what I'm doing here. Some people ask, why don't I use scans? Which in some instances, with some stock market stuff I do, I may look at a scan. I think scanning is a very great tool. But the one thing I have difficulty with scanning is the way scans draw support and resistance level. I'm sure someone somewhere has developed a scanning tool that really accurate evaluates and identifies support resistance levels the way I like to. However, most of what I've seen some that are good, but I just don't trust them enough. I find it, pretty sufficient to just visually, do it. Okay, so here's pound kiwi. We are at this, so the market is now definitely treating this as a support level here. And some traders may wish to enter here. However, we're between the 50 and 200 exponential moving averages, so not the strongest of trends. Price is sloping down. Like I mentioned, reasons to not enter is often what I like to look for, and I see numerous reasons to not enter here. That's fine. That's about it. Maybe if it falls to this bottom blue line, maybe here, if this bottom blue line, this dashed blue line, can continue intersecting and can continue going up, trend line continues, and price, so maybe in a few sessions, maybe next week or late this week, if we're still in this range, it might be a buying opportunity. I could be interested in buying then. But we'll see. At this point, I'll definitely just wait and watch. Pound US dollar, we talked about earlier. Great technical setup on that. Let's look at it real quick. Yeah, this candlestick type of thing, really something I like. Okay, so that's it for pound dollar. Let's go to US dollar or dollar Canada. This is still pulling back. We don't have the same price channel here that we saw in Euro Canada and Pound Canada. But in any event, there's that dashed gray line. Maybe that'll be where I enter. Let me actually add Fibonacci here. And I would draw it from this swing low all the way up to this swing high. Okay, so that basically coincides with that level. If we can fall to 109.04, right now we're at 110.50, so we got about 150 pips to go. If we can fall 150 pips, and if the market shows some support level, if the 50 SMA solidifies there, I think that could be an interesting opportunity. So maybe next week we'll be there. Okay, so that's dollar Canada. That could be a good trade next week. Dollar yen. Yeah, we see similar price action to euro yen. I still like the euro yen setup much more. Yeah, I'm going to delete this line. Let's see what it looks like on the weekly chart. Yeah, so here we go. Similar to euro yen, I like the euro yen setup more. But yeah, we had, some really nice reversal candlesticks at a support level on a weekly chart. It's also Fibonacci retracement level from this swing low, right, to this swing high. Yeah. So that's interesting. I may actually prefer to draw from a weekly perspective from this swing low. Um, yeah. So that's interesting. It could fall down to here though. We'll see. In any event, I like the euro yen more, so I'm not doing anything here, and I'll continue waiting. There is going to be, the yen. Japan just posted its biggest current account deficit ever. The yen, I don't know how they're going to get out of that situation. I think it really is shorting the yen to me is the best long-term opportunity in the currency market. Um, yeah, informedtrades.com/Japan. I posted about this yesterday on Japan on Informed Trades. Um, for anyone who has a long-term perspective or interest in a longer-term opportunity, I think that's worth taking a look at. Okay, dollar Singapore. I mentioned this yesterday as a trade I messed up on. I didn't lose any money, so that's good. At least not yet. um, Here's this. So after I saw these two candles, I had an entry order on this third candle here because I thought, oh, we're at support at the bottom of the channel, it's good. But then there was a 4-hour candle. Let's actually look at the 4-hour chart. Then this candle developed right here, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, this is a big move down, big red candle. I kind of don't want to look at it. Now, really, I shouldn't have paid attention to it. It's only the 4-hour chart, and the rest of it still made sense. But I hesitated. That was a mental error on my part. Um, so I didn't place it. And then they had a big move up, right? Now I said, oh, well, okay, so my initial reasoning was valid and may still, I don't know, the market's going to come back to my original order, but I'll put it back on. So now it looks like the market may come back on to that original level. Let's zoom into the 4-hour again. Okay, yeah, we are almost there. It actually looks like, did it get filled? Let me check my account. No, I am now, so it's 9 pips away, my entry order from getting filled. So we'll see. Maybe that'll get filled, and that's fine if it does. That's good if it does. Um, yeah. Okay. So that was just a mental error, but I may get a second chance on it for better or worse. We'll find out. Um, that's it for dollar Singapore. Let's get back to the daily chart. Okay. So that's the dollar pairs. Now Australian dollar. Okay. Yeah. Um, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar. This is I had mentioned this before. I had originally thought about shorting here. I thought we were in a range. That's where this purple box comes in. But then we broke out of the top of this range, and we broke out in a manner that this candlestick here made me think, oh, maybe this isn't. Maybe we're not breaking out, and now we're heading higher, and that's what it looks like. So Australian dollar is starting to look a little bullish, at least relative to the Canadian dollar. But then again, everything looks bullish relative to the Canadian dollar now, so bear that in mind. Aussie Swiss. Um, this is another level that I think could be an interesting short if the market can come here. But I'm banking on Aussie Kiwi. That's the thing. So I still think there's good short setups on the Australian dollar. Not on Aussie yen. Aussie Canada and Aussie yen are non-starters here. Um, yeah, so Aussie yen. It's been very strange. Maybe it falls to the top or bottom of this range. That'll be interesting. But nothing yet. Aussie, New Zealand. Now this is my entry order that I have on. And if price can rally to 109.07, I'll definitely be interested in shorting. And Aussie US, which I already have on, we looked at the moment. It looks like it's going to get its stop hit, unfortunately. But yeah, there it is. So has not gotten a stop hit yet, but we're definitely very close, and I would expect it to get hit later today based on how things are going. I accidentally skipped over the Canadian dollar, so let's see if there's any opportunities for us there. Canada Swiss. Yeah. Well, some people, and this is, same as with the Euro Canada, where some, it's in that price channel, and some people may like the idea of trading a retest of a channel after a breakout. I'm not one of those people. I would like it to, if it can pull back all the way out to the 50% moving average here, 50% Fibonacci retracement. We have a nice support level, 50 simple moving average here. Really nice confluence level here. Doesn't look like we're going to make it though. That's fine. I've seen a lot of opportunities where, holding out for a good pullback, I still find that to be worthwhile. Maybe there's a way where I can get opportunities like Canada's, like what this one has, and better identify when a less of a pullback is justified. But there's always room to improve your trading. Until I have a good idea of that, I'll stick with my current approach. Canada yen. This is another trade I tried and got stopped out on before. Now it looks like we might be rallying. Yeah, this is odd. I'm just not finding the price action to be that clear. So, we clearly do have a support level of sorts here. Oh, that should be black and very thick and solid. Okay, so it's clearly a very support level here. However, the moving averages are tilted downwards. This is not maybe it's an opportunity short here, short a break out of this range and a retest. No, I would just prefer to stay away from this at the moment. Not clear enough, in my opinion. It still looks a little range-ish to me. Okay, so that's Canada yen. And this is something I'll watch. I will say that because it is interesting to see. We broke out of this, rectangle here. Now we're retesting it. So maybe that's a legitimate short opportunity. I'm sure for many traders it is. I prefer to watch this a little more, keep in mind these types of setups, and go from there. I'm very careful about modifying my trading plan because I think it's important to be disciplined in your execution, and if you just trade it willy-nilly, then you'll end up doing anything. So I'm constantly watching, observing, and looking for ways to improve it, but I want to be careful about how I iterate my plan. Okay, so that's Canadian dollar. Now let's go to New Zealand dollar. New Zealand, Canada. Okay. This looks like we've got really strong resistance level here, and we now have a pattern of higher lows in place. So this could be interesting to short, interesting counter trend. I probably won't. I think in March might be the month where I start counter trend trading. At least consider it. But that's the level that I would, just plotting this. Let's see if this works out hypothetically. But this looks like an interesting level to short at. Maybe actually here. Put your stop right around here, 93 or something. Targeting is the harder part. You can make I probably wouldn't want to target more than the 50%, and then you can do a stop and reverse. So we'll see. I need to make sure in counter trend that the reward is justifiably large enough, and that's the tricky part because you're trading against the trend. Often the reward isn't large enough, but there definitely will be opportunities where the reward to risk can be outstanding. Kiwi Swiss, so we're still in this range. Let me make this box a little bigger. I'm going to hold off. Price action is a little choppy here, so I'm going to hold off on that. If it goes, of course, with ranges, if it goes to the top or bottom, that could be an interesting trade. Kiwi Yen. And this is the same. We're seeing a lot of this price action in the yen pairs, except for Canada yen, or even a little bit with Canada yen, where the yen is falling in value, or all these other pairs are rallying: Kiwi yen, dollar yen, euro yen, etc. Euro yen's my preferred way of playing it. Still need a pullback. We've had the rally. We've had that initial rally that suggested maybe a bottom is in. But now let's wait for the pullback to enter. So Euro yen's the way I'm focusing on playing that now. And Kiwi dollar, we already looked at this. I have a trade on here. Target profit, this green line. That's about it. Okay, so that's about it for the currency, the chart review today. I'm not really placing any trades, not moving my stop. Fortunately, positions are in my favor, and sometimes when things go in your favor, you just wait and wait more. There are some opportunities that I'm keeping an eye out on. I mentioned those in the video. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out on them and covering them daily. If you have any questions, anything you want to add, join us at InformedTrades.com. Thanks and best of luck in your trading.